All right. All right.
Kiva Moed.
Yeah, let me just make sure that we're all set
Sure.
here. Right, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're on. There we go. Bam.
Okay. We live or are we Emmerich?
We are. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Virtual.
As you come on in, take a second to introduce yourself in the chat and let us know where you're streaming in from today. We are just so excited to be here with everyone for this three-part Harmony Shabbat service, our monthly First Friday family service at Or Hadash. And Dave, take us away with a little
Kiva Moed.
Kiba Moed.
Okay. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Kiva Moed. Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la. Time has come. The time has come. The time has come. The time has come. Time has come for many things.
That is true.
I don't want to be too political, but it would be safe, maybe unsafe to say, no justice, no peace. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling that
So,
a little bit these days.
yeah. And Shabbat Shalom, we are coming into the end of that kind of a week.
Yeah, it's been
Kind of
crazy.
a week where we have both been broken and shattered to our very core by the injustice in our world. And also a week where we have been moved by the kindness and the allyship and the hands that reach out from one neighbor to the other. A week where simultaneously I feel kind of lost and jaded and hurt and insert word here, but also really inspired by the capacity of one human being to make a positive change in the life of the other. And so as we welcome everyone to this Shabbat service here, we hold that we are at the end of that kind of a week. A week where we've seen the very worst and the very best of humanity.
Hopefully, some good comes of it.
Yeah. And so on Shabbat, we're given a chance to rest, a chance to take a break, a chance to step out of. I remember someone telling me at the time that COVID-19 started, and we all started trying to figure out how to move everything online. And I remember someone similar saying when about 3 years ago in January, you all remember what moment that was, following the inauguration, that so many people started taking to the streets for the Women's March and the March for Sciences and all of those moments. And I remember someone telling me at a particular moment where I felt tired, where I felt exhausted, where I felt like I just didn't have the capacity anymore to do even one more thing. Someone reminded me that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think that every Shabbat we have that reminder that it's a marathon, not a sprint, that the fight for racial justice, the fight for Black lives, the fight for justice, for all causes. I'm thinking especially as we approach the 30th anniversary of the Americans for Disabilities Act later this summer. Also in June is the anniversary of marriage equality in this country. That all of these times, all of these fights for justice, we all had to work together over a long, long period of time, and that not everyone can run the whole time. And that each week as Shabbat comes in, we are reminded that there is a time for action, a time for work, a time for creating, a time for holding up structures, a time for tearing down unjust structures. And there's also a time for rest. And so I want to invite each of us, as in just a moment we turn to the words of Lecha Dodi on page 9 in our Sidur Kol HaNoar, our youth Sidurim, to the words of Lecha Dodi, and we welcome in the Shabbat bride, that this Shabbat maybe we can take a break, take a moment to switch off our social media feeds, take a moment to step out of the world and to step into that modality of rest, because it's that rest that fuels us for what comes next. And so together we turn to Lecha Dodi and greet the Shabbat bride.
Lecha Dodi lekrat kala.
Shamor v'zachor v'zikor echad
Yishmiyanu
meyuchad Adonai echad u'shabbat l'rein meretz elila. Just you on the chorus, Dave.
Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekamela. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekamela.
Just me on the lai. Sing with me now. Yanai, 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 yanai. Take it away.
Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekamela. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat
Right.
lekamela.
As we face the entrance to our homes for Boin Veshalom Ateritala Gam Simcha Vetzochola Abunei Am Sekula Boichala Boichala.
Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat lekamela. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat lekamela.
We can be seated. And as we welcome in this Shabbat, I want everyone to take a second as you come in to welcome one another, to greet each other's faces, and maybe we can share our favorite image of peace. Maybe our image of peace that we've seen this week. In this week where there was so much unrest, what image of peace are you taking that you want to take with you into this Shabbat? And let's share in the chat as we prepare to rise for Baruch Hu, and we bless the source of life. Baruch Hu is on page 10. We also witness one another sharing these beautiful images of peace. And we rise in spirit or in body for Baruch Hu. And Dave will lead the As We Bless piece, and I'll take over solo for Baruch Hu.
Okay, sounds like a plan. As we bless the source source of life, so we are blessed as we bless the source of life, so we are blessed, and the blessing gives us strength and makes our vision clear, and the blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare as we bless the source of life, so we are
blessed. Baruch et Adonai, Korach, Adonai.
Avora Leolam Voed.
Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. After every darkness, there is a light. And in our evening liturgy, we're reminded of that. The words of Mariv Aravim on page 11 of our Kol HaNoar.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Oh, rain on my light, go lay on me, ocean, go lay on me, ocean, the shake me down. It's dark, it's light, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Oh, rain on my light, go lay on me, ocean, go lay on me, ocean, worship me.
A small star shooting through the sky, but I don't know its name, only that it radiates light through a deep, dark sky. Through my window you shine, a stream of light, a nighttime rainbow, lighting up the wandering path. Don't hide behind a cloud. Keep shooting, my little star. And it's those images of peace that shoot through the night like that little star. Rich Davis shared that little star for him, that ray of light, that image of peace was support from friends. Mine was watching people after that terrible, terrible storm yesterday just stop their cars and get out of the car and sorry about that. Just clearing all of the leaves. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties there. I apologize. And maybe in the chat, we can share other images of peace. Maybe the feeling of turning off the feed. And we're bringing back Dave here right now. And as Dave is coming back in after our Zoom meeting crashed there for a second, we turn to the Shema on page 16. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Amen.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Emet, truth. This week was a week where we saw a lot of truth telling, where people cut through the lies, the untruths that were being shared, and couldn't believe them, because it's hard to believe a lie when you see something with your own eyes. That day this week, with a particular photo op in front of a particular church, our country watched with its own eyes acts of injustice. And we listened to the words of the head of that Episcopal diocese in the Washington area of be a nachshon, be a person of that Episcopal, be a nachshon, be a person who is willing to stand out there and speak the maybe not unpopular, but speak those truths that were so hard sometimes for people to hear, because we want to believe the best in our society. And it just takes that one person to stand up front, that one person to jump into the water first, that one person to take that first step and trust that people will follow, trust that people will wake up, trust that people will follow them into the sea. And so together, as we watched first in disbelief, acts of violence from against one human being to another in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then around our country, and then violence against those who are taking to the streets with passion, fighting for justice. We followed those nachshons into the sea and across to the freedom that we hope is on the other side, for the more just world. Mi Chamocha is on page 22.
Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, bani Adonai. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha na hakodesh morati lo o sefer morati lo o sefer yai 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 yai. Whoops, wrong string. Too much rough.
On page 24, a poem, a prayer to God, written by third graders at Congregation Beth Israel. Dear God, can you protect me from the dark, from sadness and war? Can you protect me from my neighbors? Try that again. Can you protect me from my nightmares coming true? Can you protect me from all lightning and thunder? Don't let me be afraid. Help me through the night. Give me peace. When the sun comes up, I will awaken with good thoughts, and my loved ones will all be there. And so I want to invite us as we sing the words of Hashkivenu on page 23 to take a second and put into the chat a blessing or some words of love that you have for a loved one tonight, whether it's someone that you're sitting with here on this stream, someone across the country who you haven't been able to see this season. What is something that you would want to say to someone you love to keep them safe in this night, on this Shabbat, or maybe gratitude for them keeping you safe and sheltered under the wings of the peace of all of our families? Hashkivenu, page 23.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, v'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, v'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be
Alright, everything's gonna be alright.
alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, v'amidenu malkeinu
Everything's gonna be alright.
l'chaim. Eloheinu b'shalom,
We will feel better. The strength is inside us somewhere. We miss you and can't wait to give you a big hug in person. All of those wonderful things that we say to one another across our rooms, across our country, across our cities. Words of love to one another. And we hold them in our hearts as we rise in spirit or in body for the Amidah, our silent prayer for Shabbat evening. It's on page 29 here in the evening service with some reflections, and a longer liturgy can be found on page 70, and we take a few moments for some silent prayer. And as we return to this space, as you complete your own silent prayers, we turn to the sweetest prayer of all, a prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom. And as we turn from this prayer for peace, shalom, we also pray for shlemut, wholeness, the wholeness that comes from healing. Mishaberach Lecholim, our prayer for healing, is a prayer that we say every time the Torah is out, and that we also say as we gather on Friday nights, because we know that there's power when we all gather together to heal a broken country, to heal a broken heart, to support someone through physical healing, and to heal or support someone through healing their mental and spiritual health as well. And as we turn in our hearts to those who are in need of healing, I want to invite you to share in the chat names of those whom you're thinking of. And I'm going to share as well the names of those on our congregational Mishaberach list, as together we think of everyone and bring them to our thoughts, because together when we stand together, when we send our energy in one direction together, we know we can make a difference. And so this week, we're thinking of and sending our healing to Roberta Archibald, Arden Bell, Carol Mueller-Bell, Jillian Eve Bach, Rabbi Deborah Bowen, Sarah Sarulnik, Bill Conrad, Robin Kupo, Francesca Dever, Eric Gershman, Jonathan Giannini, George and Gail Glansberg, Hal Goodman, Sheila Guthrie, Alberta Hall, Cordula Hamish, Chava Hurley, Michelle Kalish, Sharon Cass, Fran Kaufman, Elsie Lieberstein, Len McEwen, William and Robert Mueller, Anthony Nero, Lisa Nicholson, Mike Oswald, Dan Pollock, Abby Rosenberg, Mike Rosenberg, Shelley Sanders, Willie Schneer, Bertha Schwartz, Tricia Slater, Margaret Steiber, Ellen Stewerman, Lloyd Suter, Lynn Van Engel, Isabel Vita, Stan Weckstein, Millie Weissman, Grace Zangwill, Eileen Zeff, Doug Proudman, Jules Mermelstein, Eric Griffin Shelley, Brian Shoes, and Dorothy, and to all the frightened children. And we raise our voices now in our Mishaberach in song.
Ready?
Yep.
Those in need of healing with refuel, shame the renewal of life, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
And with that hope for healing, we also acknowledge the sweetness that comes from recovery, the sweetness that comes from knowing that someone is thinking of us. And with that sweetness, we raise our glasses for Kiddush, for Kiddush. Page 32. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki eleinu karata ואותנו קידשת לעבודתך, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. לחיים. We rise together in spirit or in body for Aleinu. On page 34 in Mora Barbara, do you want to lead us in Aleinu?
Sure, I would love to. Aleinu l'shabbat l'adon hakol, l'tekedu l'yotzer breshit, shenatan lanu Torah, v'chahei olam, natan b'tochenu, v'anachnu kolim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Adonai, המלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד.
We can be seated. We turn in our hearts and in our memories to those whom we've lost at this season in years past, those whom we've loved and whose memories and lives and legacies inform the way that we live today. Maybe also those whose names we bear, or the children we look around our tables and see, or the children we see in our photographs bear the names of, as we live with the lasting memory, the passing on of the light of each of those people. Mourner's Kaddish is a moment where we turn to the sweetness of memory. We often say at the end of our Mourner's Kaddish, Zichrono livracha, or Zichrana livracha, or Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for us a blessing. And so as I read the list of names I have for Kaddish tonight, and others share names of people they're thinking of for Kaddish in the chat, if you are someone who's carrying with you a memory of someone that's filling you with blessing tonight, I want to invite you to share that in the chat as well, so that we can all see the ways in which those whom we remember continue to be a blessing for us. Those sweet, sweet memories, those things that when we think of them, we smile. Because remembering someone doesn't have to be sad. It can also bring us right back to those most amazing times of cookies in a grandparent or a great-grandparent's kitchen, of a special holiday celebration, of a piece of wisdom that someone taught you that one time that changed everything for you in the way you see the world. And so as we remember those whom we've lost at this season in years past and in recent days and weeks and months, we also mingle with those memories, with those names rather, the memories that bring a smile to our face, that we carry with us in sweetness. So this week at Or Hadash, we are remembering and thinking of Melanie Gansler, daughter of Rhoda Gansler, Lester Zeff, father of Eileen Zeff, Lee Klieger, grandmother of Wendy Elliott Vandeveer, Marvin Schnall, uncle of Shelley Quigley, Edward Adler, father of Joe Adler, Frida Astalos, aunt of Bert Siegel, and also Ira Jaffe. And we note that we are in a period of Shloshim, the month following the passing of Bernie Love, the uncle of Scott Love, great uncle of Kate and Anna, and of Donald Bernard Wolfe, father of Carolyn Wolfe Savitsky, father-in-law of Marty, and grandfather of Robin Savitsky. And of course, we are also in a period of Shloshim following the death of George Floyd. And as we read these wonderful, and Shoal Greenstein, Jean and Nathan Davis. And as we read these names that continue to come in, and the memories, the beautiful memories As we raise a glass in memory of Joe's father and others as they come in, I want to invite mourners and those who are observing a yortzeit to rise for Mourner's Kaddish on page 36, along with those whose tradition it is to rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemech rabah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei zechol beit Yisrael agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach leolam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran ve'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. And so last month we started a new tradition. I did not give the monthly poem, and instead we called on our one, our only, our Dan Weissman to blow us away with his rhyming talents. And so, for the second month in a row, let's give it up for Dan Weissman for our synthesis of the month in verse. Take it away, Dan.
Emphasis of the month. Huh? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi, and everyone else who's on. June poem. Well, here we are already in the month of June. And the rabbi asked me to write a tune. Yes, I'll have to give it a go, even if this poem starts a little slow. With COVID continuing this month so fair, we'll celebrate at home on our derriere. While some will go out on the street to protest and tell the oppressors they cannot rest. As the paradigms shift, begin to shift and shatter, we all understand that, come on everybody, Black Lives Matter. I hope you all don't get annoyed when I say, remember George Floyd. But there are also things to celebrate. Don't forget, don't be late. Flag Day is coming soon on the 14th of June. So be proud with a shout, not a sigh, and wave that freak flag high. After that, we have our first annual Kum Sits, where we do just that. We come and we sit. And since we're still on Zoom, bring your own fire pit or candle, whatever you desire. We'll sing and dance with lots of cheer. Just mute yourself so others don't hear. Our last big holiday, Juneteenth it be, when the slaves learned that they were free. Throughout the summer, no spoilers here, a bunch of activities from Barbara dear. You call her Nova Barbara. So as we start June, have a great time while I finish this silly little rhyme.
Woo! Woo! Nice. So you know what they say, do it once, it's a program, do it twice, it's tradition. You guys can go ahead and vote in the chat as to whether you want Dan to keep doing our monthly poem or whether you want to go back to Rabbi Alana's lame excuse for a monthly poem, because we all bring our talent, and I personally vote for Dan. But you can vote with your fingers here. Let us know how you feel about Dan and his rhyming stylings, and then we'll catch back up in July about whether or not we're going to keep going for that. And so we of course are going to sing a quick Yom Huledet Sameach for our June birthdays, and we're not going to sing for all of our summer birthdays because we are going to keep Three-Part Harmony Family Shabbat going for the entire summer. So, on Friday night, July 3rd, we are going to have a very, very special Three-Part Harmony family service. It's going to be Pet Shabbat. And so we're all going to gather on Zoom when we light our candles at 6:30. And we're going to bring our pets with us on July 3rd and show off our cats, our dogs, our goldfish, our hamsters, our gerbils. Boo is coming now for Pet Shabbat a month early.
Nice.
So BYO Pet,
Rusty.
we're all going to celebrate the birth of our nation for
Rusty.
July 4th weekend, and also our fine furry friends for a Petapalooza Shabbat on the 3rd. So get excited. And then also the first Friday of August, August 7th, will also be a First Friday family service. And so, without further ado, we are going to say a little hamotzi over our challah, and then sing a little Yom Yom Huledet. We're going to sing it out tonight for our June birthdays. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
B'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Take us away, Dave. Let's sing it.
Hayom yom huledet, hayom yom huledet lechaveim. Hayom yom huledet, hayom yom huledet lechaveim. Anu sameach v'zeichem poreach, hayom huledet lechaveim. Anu sameach v'zeichem poreach, hayom huledet lechaveim. Hayom yom huledet, hayom yom huledet lechaveim.
Happy birthday! And also, as we throw, apparently I'm throwing challah at my computer for happy birthdays, we also shout a giant mazal tov to Adir Waxman, who becomes bar mitzvah tomorrow morning with his family, and we all celebrate with him on Zoom on Sunday at noon. So I'll see you all tomorrow morning at Torah study or at services or on Sunday over Zoom as we celebrate with Rabbi Josh and Amy and Tzvi and Yael as Adir becomes bar mitzvah. We have so much to do in this country to heal and so much to celebrate also. And so Shabbat Shalom from our home to your home, from me, from Dave, from Dan, from Maura, Barbara, from all of us. 1, 2, 3. Shabbat!
Shabbat shalom.
Like the old newlywed game.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello, everyone.